All right, good afternoon. John here. We're going to look at some what I think is pretty cool boat stuff that's part of the Tribe of G cruise. So let's start out with this thing. This thing is a dry box, and you'll notice that it's orange. And it's orange so you can find it in a hurry, because when you need this thing, you're probably desperate. Now, in here, I've got some new primary fuel filters, because when your fuel filter gets clogged up, it usually happens out in rough seas, which is a bad thing. Only got two in there, but I could get one changed pretty quickly. And then I have the Yanmar original equipment. What is this thing? This is the fuel filter. The Yanmar is terribly proud of their stuff. I don't know why, but they get away with it. There's the Yanmar oil filter, because they can be a little hard to find, so to get the oil changed while I'm on the cruise, I want to be sure I've got an oil filter with me. And here's an air filter, Yanmar. And they're also a little difficult to find, so I got one with me. And this is an El Cheapo multimeter. And the reason for that is lots of times the power at docks that you find isn't 110 volts, or 240 in some cases. So I always am careful to check that, because if you're running, say, 100 volts on a 50 amp system like I have on my boat, that will burn out the pump on my air conditioner, for example. So I always check it to be sure that they're putting out the power. And so I've got this cheap digital multimeter in my emergency box. And you'll see a belt. Again, the Yanmar, there's only one belt on the thing, thank goodness. And there's a bunch of stainless steel clamps in here. And I gotta get some nut drivers, or one, I guess they're all the same, to put in there with it. Because on a boat, when you need a clamp, you generally need it now. Because water may be coming in, who knows. This is a roll of magic tape, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's amazing stuff, because you can wrap it around a leaking hose, and it'll seal, whether it's wet and hot, and it'll seal onto itself. It's great stuff. Everybody ought to have some. It's called safety tape, I think, but I've used it for years. Really good stuff. So that's kind of my my little safety in a hurry box. I do have to get a nut driver in there, as I mentioned, to be able to. I've got nut drivers in my tool kit, of course, but if I need one, I don't want to have to sort through my toolkit. I want to be able to grab it right now. Get this thing closed. It also opens this way, and in there I have a jar of liquid tape. It's like electrical tape, as you probably know. Ham radio people probably use it. I use it all the time. I use it to seal up my antennas outside. Wonderful stuff. It's a must-have. Everybody needs to have a bottle or two of that around. See, the back of my truck's well organized. There's some polypropylene line back there that I use to come here, line that I use. Oh, there's my Christmas lights I had on my truck. Have to get them put away. I use that to hang fenders and stuff like that. It floats. It's cheap and strong as hell. It's really good stuff. So anyway, that's what I do with that, and I'll braid loops in the end like that. Guess you can see that, to hang my fenders that are down on the boat. But when I get down there, I'll show you them, because they're great big orange things. More in a minute.